Good afternoon, everyone. This is what happened on our planet the last half of June 2018. The media is above you, shrinking your perception of what's going on in the natural world. They're not reporting on so many things going on right now. It is all related to the intensification of the grand solar minimum. As the waves widen, we're going to receive more galactic cosmic rays, and these in turn have a correlation of triggering volcanic eruptions. Media not talking about Mount Merapi, but it's volcanic ash plume spreading over part of Java. They have to report on the cave-in of the crater blocking the lava conduit. They're expecting another massive explosive eruption coming out of Kilauea. That's in the US. They had to cover it. But the media is in damage control, assuring you that Fuego, Kilauea, Merapi are no way related at all. But it's so strange that the pyroclastic flows off volcano Discovery talk about how unusual the length of these are, that it's way out of the norm. Satellite view here of the valleys filled with ash from the ground. Now it's snowing in Sweden. It's been snowing in Norway. It's snowing in Russia. It's snowing in Canada. Not only last week, but yesterday as well. It's been snowing incredibly up on Greenland. That blue line is how much extra snow is coming down on the ice pack up there. Climate change studies are stuck in too much ice. They're trying to say because the Arctic is losing ice that they're stuck in ice. This is their explanation. The amount of massive hailstorms damaging our crops. 3 months ago, I was pinpointing this area here on the map in France of being, again, affected by storms and cold in its exact same areas. We just need to look back in history and see what happened in Europe. We know where the food price rises are coming, and the media really doesn't want you to start talking about and equating, can we look for cycles by looking back at past eruptions? So I'm calling somewhere in China, in a random place nobody's even ever heard of before for volcanic activity. Looking at somewhere 50 AD, 650 AD, or in Turfan around 1120 AD. These all match up with grand solar minimums. So if it is a repeating cycle, one of these unknown spots should start to erupt again. Winter watch out in Hawaii on the Big Island. Sub-freezing temperatures are only at the summits. I didn't know if I believed this news article when I first saw it, so indeed I went to National Weather Service and found them on Twitter with that same advisory. A winter weather warning, but again, it's above 12,000 feet. Volcanic ash plume associated with this. So I dug in a couple articles and I did find ice nucleation after volcanic eruptions on Pinatubo and in Iceland. New 5.4 in Hawaii on the Big Island as well. And the Great Sitkin volcano in Alaska awakens again, another steam eruption event. Look at these morning lows below freezing, snow. More snow across Idaho, snow in Montana, and if you can't see the signs of the grand solar minimum intensifying. Today, I wanted to talk to those in Eastern Canada that are involved in agriculture and also talk about Eastern Canada because it is going offline and it's going to continue to have losses as this grand solar minimum intensifies. June 6th, cold snap damages vineyards, Christmas trees. It's over a 50% loss in the vineyards so far. And then looking at the news roll here, it's frost warning, frost impacting, cold June for grapes, apple growers, fruit growers. And when you're using the words catastrophic in a news feed, that's rare. New Brunswick blueberries. But see, this is the thing. It started in 2012, the exact same area, the exact same crops, apples wiped out. It's been that repeatedly year upon year. And right next door is Greenland, and then we take a look. That blue line is the increase over last year's record increase of ice on Greenland. Temperatures are still a little bit below normal up in the North Pole. Atlantic multidecadal oscillation starting to turn cool, and this would explain why Eastern Canada and France are both experiencing losses with their vineyards. The climate's changing. The grand solar minimum is intensifying. Haskap berries. Again, this could be a switch crop, a superfood that provides us nutrition and an opportunity. Massive slew of water spouts, coastal China, octopus flying through the air, starfish, huge hail. Over in Hawaii, gemstones raining out of the air. But they do have a green beach consisting of the same gemstones, peridot, also called olivine. Global cooling, Mount Kilimanjaro, Tanzania. Exceptional snows, the glaciers growing. Australia, the land of fun and sun, blizzard conditions. Everywhere you look, tablelands, east-west, north-south, snow, every capital city except Darwin. Trajectory of the front from Antarctica. Notice there's another low directly behind that heading in from the west. Take a look at the frost. Severe frost is that dark purple and how much it extends into the outback. Higgins storm chasing. That far north up there is Cape York. And what's that piece of land off to the right there? Oh, that's Papua New Guinea. And remember when David Taylor gave us that forecast based on sunspots to say it might be the all-time record coldest winter in Australia? Looks like it's shaping up already to be extremely cold. So all those news articles you're seeing about Antarctica melting, that's nonsense. And the crux and the pivot to the whole story here is the energy grid doesn't have enough power because everybody's drawing because it's so cold. So the mega users in the country are being charged up to 100 times the normal rate. Yay, Green Policy Australia. Thanks for using wind and solar so much to prove to the rest of the world it's unviable and it's not a solution. News abounds. Antarctica's melting 3 times as fast as a decade ago. It's a full-fledged 5-alarm climate emergency. Scary graphs with just downward descending ice. But wait a second. NASA study, mass gains of Antarctic ice sheet. European Space Agency using satellites as well. And if you look at the real math, 99.989% of Antarctica is still there that didn't melt. They used gigantic numbers to try to scare. You know why? Because Antarctic sea ice extent is growing back to nearly the baseline from 1981 to 2010. And the scary articles across the mainstream media are trying to say, look at the sea level rise as this is going to cause by 2050 or so. But since the sea levels have been rising since 1850 pretty much in a steady fashion, you need to see if this is natural variability. Because looking back at post-glacial sea level rise at the Younger Dryas era, oh, that's 120 meters. That's 360 feet of sea level. They're squabbling about millimeters, literally fractions of an inch. University of Alabama, Huntsville, temperature compared to the scary models presented by the IPCC. Notice where that is at about 0.8. Let's bring it to today, May 2018. That's dropped to 0.18. So what's your favorite color of microgreen to grow? Red or green? See the full selection at trueleafmarket.com. You can find the Adapt 2030 link for True Leaf Market, as well as all the links to tonight's very important Antarctic debate in the description box. One of the driest places on the planet, the largest sand desert on our Earth, Rub al-Khali lakes have formed there. From space, from the ground. And the dust storm on Mars now is the most intense dust storm ever observed on that planet. It engulfs the entire planet. It has gone from daylight to darkness, and the entire planet is shrouded. You need to ask yourself, with all the planets lining up on one side of the sun the week after next, is this an effect of the electric universe? Overlapping of solar cycle 24 compared to solar cycle 5, we are definitely heading back into Dalton minimum type conditions, and begin to look for the cloud cells on our planet behaving strangely. Snow in the Carpathian Mountains, Eastern Europe, 400,000 lightning strikes in a 24-hour period over Europe as well. Beautiful images of the incredible frost across Australia, Russian fronts. Over the U.S., something that looks like an inland hurricane.